Welcome back to the General Eclectic Pavilion.
Today we're going to be discussing a very hot button issue with Disney fans, and that is sequels.
Disney sequels. Now, what is a sequel, you might be wondering? So we've kind of figured out that there are three different types of sequels. There is your classic sequel, which is a film whose plot takes place after the conclusion of the first film. That is your most common type of sequel. Then there are the prequels, which happen before a film story. There are a couple of those, not too many, but there are a couple. And then there's the dreaded midquel, which is a movie or a story that takes place within the original story. And there is nothing about those that's good, really.
I mean, we do have one on the good list, but
But only one, and we'll get there when we get there.
So we have compiled a list of sequels from across the board. We've got theatrical releases, we've got straight-to-video sequels, we even have a couple of Disney Channel ones thrown in there. They are all either good, bad, or they're okay.
They're passable.
They're passable.
Yeah. So, this sorting is going to be
based on mostly personal opinion, but also we tried to think a little critically in terms of storytelling,
the songs, if there are any,
the animation quality, if it is an animated film,
the characterization, so whether or not that seems true to be for that character that they would do this kind of thing that they do in the sequel.
Yeah.
And sort of most important, the effect it has on the original.
Yeah.
And whether it's good, bad, or a non-starter that just doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So those are the criteria in which we're judging these movies. So
we're just gonna jump right in and we're gonna get into the list. We're gonna start with the bad sequels. And we're gonna kick that one off with my least favorite, The Little Mermaid 2. Following that, we also have Cinderella 2. What is the actual title of that one?
I don't remember.
Hunchback of Notre Dame 2. Atlantis, Milo's Return.
Which is good for a laugh and nothing else.
Tarzan 2. Stitch Has a Glitch. I don't know why this is under the bad list. I haven't actually seen it. I just know it's sad.
It's been a long time since I've seen the film also, but I remember not enjoying any part of it.
And then next is Leroy and Stitch, which is also something I haven't seen, so I can't really say if it's good or bad.
It's better than Stitch Has a Glitch, but it's still not good.
Alright. And then there's Bambi 2, to which I just say, why?
It's a midquel.
Following that, another midquel, Fox and the Hound 2. Why?
Completely destroys the story of the original. Absolutely destroys it.
My favorite thing on the bad list, Cars 2.
I liked Cars 2. I thought it was good.
It's Mater-centric, and I don't really care about Mater. Next is Honey, We Shrunk Ourselves. The next one is actually hilarious, because it's Alice in Wonderland Through the Looking Glass, which, he wrote this down, and I said, what is that? And then he had to point out to me that it is the live-action Tim Burton directed.
From like 2015?
Yeah, so I don't like either of those films, so
16?
I forgot about them.
It doesn't matter. It's bad.
It's bad. Under here it just says Pirates films, but really anything past 2 is just bad, and the only reason Dead Man's Chest is good is for the three-way fight scene. The Santa Claus 3.
Martin Short. Good times.
Now we're reaching Disney Channel movie, because we have Twitches 2. I don't know if any of you remember the movie in which Tia and Tamara Mowry are twin witches, and they're called Twitches. Which is awful, but then they made a sequel, which is just as bad.
Worse. Yeah.
Yeah. And then there's Z3, the sequel to Xenon, or the third film in succession to Xenon, Girl of the 21st Century. Great movie. Z3 is bad. Just bad.
This is one of those situations where it's the outlier, and then normally if you have a series of movies that has 3,
the third one is good.
The first and the third one are good, and the second one is just bad. But it's not the case.
Z3 is terrible, as is Santa Claus 3, so
yeah. There's
the rule of 3s being broken. Also under bad, Inspector Gadget 2.
So now next we have the passable films. And these are the ones that are not great, they're not bad, but they've got some kind of redeemable quality to them. So we start at the beginning with The Return of Jafar, which is only in the passable section because of the songs. Nothing against Dan Castellaneta, but his performance as Genie was, we'll say, par. So I don't want to say subpar. He did a good job.
Yeah, I did all right.
But he also had a lot of really good writing for the genie and really good songs for the genie that helped his case.
Very true.
There's Enchanted Christmas,
which is the Beauty and the Beast sequel.
Midcool.
No, it's a sequel.
Is it? I thought it was. It's been a long time since I've seen it.
It opens with Belle asking why Beast does not like Christmas. He is a human at the beginning of the film.
Oh, so it's a flashback.
It's a flashback.
Isn't she in the flashback?
Yeah, she's in the flashback.
So it's sort of mid-cool-y.
It's so weird.
Watch
I enjoyed it as a kid, though.
Tim Curry is the redeeming. Literally, Tim Curry is why it says passable.
He's the villain, and it's great.
Pocahontas 2.
Journey to a New World has a lot of, it's mildly problematic, as is the original Pocahontas. Different.
But it has poignant moments.
It really does.
Next up, we've got Lady and the Tramp 2, Scamps, something or other.
Scamps Adventure.
It's just Scamps Adventure?
It's just Scamps Adventure.
See, this is tough because it's written down directly next to 101 Dalmatians 2, Patch's London Adventure.
Yeah.
And why? It's the kid of the dogs is going to do some kind of adventure. Patch's London Adventure is another one where it's like, yeah, it was okay. And it's about the kids. There's not a whole lot of characterization or effect on the original because it doesn't make you think back about anything else. It doesn't inform the original with like a flashback to something or like where you learn something new about a character. You're like, oh, so that's why they are.
Yeah.
Such
a fun
and such
thing about Lady and the Tramp 2, though, is that idea was conceptualized by Walt while the original Lady and the Tramp was being filmed.
We're going to cut in here and bring up the point that there are a lot of people that say that Walt was extremely against sequels, and one of the things that they pull on most was a quote where he said, "You can't beat pigs with pigs," and it was in reference to his unwillingness to make more Three Little Pigs cartoons after the success of the first one. And that came primarily from a point of, we are trying to continue to do new and innovative things with the animation medium, and that there's nothing we can do with these Three Little Pigs that will be better technologically, industrially, or story-wise really better than the first one.
Yeah.
And that's not to say that they didn't get sequels, because if you've ever seen the Big Bad Wolf Three Little Kids, that's a direct sequel from that cartoon. Is that the Big Bad Wolf then he's got his three, like, so it's, there's that quote, but it's very one kind of purpose was to say that you cannot do more with the same subject. You have to move on and do the other silly symphonies to make animation better than what it was.
And the Three Little Pigs is a very one-off story anyway, so why?
It is. Yeah. Big Bad Wolf gets 2. So back to the passable movies. We then get to Stitch the movie, which is the good Stitch film of the sequels, if only because it kicks off the TV show, and you get to learn about the other 625 experiments, and I think that's a lot of fun. And yes, it's partially because it kicks off the TV series, and I love the TV series, but that's fine.
I thought it was okay.
It's the effect on the original. Is that you get to learn more about Jumba and his nonsense. There's Brother Bear 2, which is it's a good movie. It's got a good story. It's a love story. But
as someone who really enjoyed the original Brother Bear, when I found out there was a sequel, I didn't want to ruin it for myself, so I've never seen that one either. So
if you want to go watch it, it's on Netflix, so you can find it there. Then we have Toy Story 2. To quote my favorite crop circles, Toy Story 2 is okay.
I like Toy Story 2 because it introduced some fun new characters to us.
Yes, and it gives you a different kind of point of view for toys.
Yeah.
And it also gave us The Collector, which is the song where he's being painted by Jerry. You know The Collector?
The Cleaner?
The Cleaner, thank you. Sorry, still on Guardians. We've got Son of Flubber, which is the sequel to The Absent-Minded Professor. The Fred McMurray one, not the Robin Williams Flubber. That's part of the remakes. We've got another video on that we put up earlier, so if you haven't seen that one, go check it out. Another Disney Channel movie, Jumping Ship, which is
so good.
The sequel to Horse Sense.
So good. I will fight for this movie because it is all 3 Lawrence brothers at the same time in a single film, and I live for it.
Then there's Homeward Bound 2, which is It's okay. The last two we have on our passable list are the sequels to The Mighty Ducks, D2 and D3, which, we'll be totally honest, neither of us have seen. But we're assuming that they're not bad. If they're bad, let me know. But I can't imagine they would be all that bad.
So finally, we are at our good list, which is actually quite long. So at the very top of the list is one of the greatest sequels of all time. That is Aladdin and the King of Thieves.
Mm-hmm.
After that, we've got The Lion King 2, Simba's Pride, following up with his distaste for The Lion King. He loves The Lion King 2.
It's good. It's very good.
But his favorite is The Lion King 1.5.
Yeah, it is.
Which is a mid-quel.
Yes.
Yes, because it takes place during the story of The Lion
But
King.
it doesn't... The difference is it does not affect the story because you're seeing it from a different angle. It's not like in the middle we learn about, I mean, yes, we learn about Simba's life growing up. Well, I've completely argued against my point. It's a mid-quel, but it's a good mid-quel.
Alright, and next we have, in my personal opinion, the greatest Disney sequel of all time, an extremely goofy movie.
Rad.
What more can you say about that film? It is perfect in every single way. After that we have Mulan 2. The next one after this, actually, I have not seen. It is Kronk's New Groove.
Excellent film. Gives you a ton of backstory on Kronk. This is one of those movies where its effect on the original is huge because it tells you so much more about the story of Kronk and why he does what he does and why he is who he is. And I think it really makes The Emperor's New Groove that much better because you see his story.
Alright, and then after that we have Cinderella 3, A Twist in Time, which I think is absolutely incredible. And just in case any of y'all were not aware, there was actually a variation of this story before the movie was created. It is a musical on the Disney Cruise Line called Twice Charmed. And it is absolutely amazing, and I think all of you need to go see that. There are videos of it on YouTube if you cannot make it to a cruise ship.
Yeah, just go get on a cruise. Just go book a cruise.
Listen, some people have that kind of money.
That's true. They do.
Share. Alright, so after that we've got The Little Mermaid, Ariel's Beginning. I hate The Little Mermaid 2. I love Ariel's Beginning.
It's good, and this is another one where, yes, it's a prequel, but its effect on the original, it
makes it stronger, I feel.
Yes, because there's so much about Triton and his relationship with his family that you get to then take and understand why he acts the way he does in the first film.
And it's a little jukeboxy. There are some songs in it that have already existed. Yeah. But the animation quality is amazing.
Really good, yeah.
It's well done.
It also didn't it come out in like 2008 or something?
Something like that. It came out.
It was a much later.
Recent.
Yeah, it was a much later, not like a 3-year between them.
Yeah.
Sequel, prequel, whatever.
Alright, so then after that, we have Toy Story 3, which, you know, makes everybody an emotional mess. One of my favorites, Monsters University.
Yes.
Monsters Inc. is, like, okay, but, like, I love Monsters University. The next one we have is actually a brand new sequel, and it's absolutely amazing, because we just saw it recently.
Cars 3, y'all.
Cars 3!
Okay, one of the motivations behind making this video was that we went and saw Cars 3 and loved it. It's so good. There is so much about that movie that kind of like tugs at your heartstrings, and it's a feel-good like movie despite the fact that it makes you feel not so good at moments. It's great. I cried 4 times. If you haven't seen Cars 2, don't worry about it.
Yeah,
There's
you don't have to see Cars 2.
No part of the story that involves the Cars 2 plot whatsoever.
There is so much limited made screen time.
Watch the first one, and then watch the third one, and you're totally good.
Yeah. And then following that, we have Finding Dory. That one, I was surprised by how much I liked it. I was very skeptical about Finding Dory, and then we went in, and I loved most of it.
I remember really enjoying it, but I don't know that I would have said that I was surprised.
After that, we have 102 Dalmatians, which is the sequel to the live-action version, which is also incredible. Also had a theatrical release. Am I wrong?
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure I saw 102 Dalmatians in theaters.
It may have, and you'll find out when you watch this video.
Well, we'll edit it in.
Okay.
And then...
Yes, it did.
So then, after that, we have a Disney Channel sequel that was so huge it released in theaters, which is High School Musical 3. Okay, so then after that, this one is also mildly controversial because I feel like we're going to do a whole video on Planes eventually. But Planes, Fire, and Rescue is a great, great, great movie.
It is. It really is.
Probably better than the first one.
It is better than the first one. It is objectively better than the first one.
Next one on this list is Peter Pan: Return to Neverland, which I don't watch this movie very often, but when I do, I cry a lot. After this is one of my other favorite sequels. So good, incredible, will love it till the end of my days, Princess Diaries 2. And boy howdy, Chris Pine in a wig is worth every second. If you don't enjoy anything else about the film, please just enjoy that.
Julie Andrews surfs down a slide on a mattress.
It is also Julie Andrews' first time singing since her throat surgery in 1997. We also have The Santa Claus 2, the best Santa Claus movie of the Santa Clauses, honestly. I love The Santa Claus 2.
I don't really care about Spencer Breslin. Where's Bernard?
No, Bernard's in 2.
I know, but Spencer Breslin comes in and then kicks Bernard out of number 3. So I'm kind
That's why 3 is bad.
I'm upset for him. David Krumholtz, I feel for you, man. I really do.
So the next thing on our list is also super great. Tron Legacy.
Mm-hmm.
Incredible.
Very good. I love it.
Praise be to Tron. Next thing is National Treasure 2.
Might be better than the first, if only because there's more Riley, and he is the true National Treasure. So,
you know.
National Treasure 2 is where it's at.
After this is The Love of My Life, Teen Beach 2. I love Teen Beach movie. I'm very shameless about it. Teen Beach 2 is one of the best things, except for the ending. It still makes me mad. But the ending kind of makes the movie, which is the worst part.
Yeah.
After that is Xenon, the sequel. So good. Legitimately good sequel, especially for a Disney Channel movie.
I didn't watch them.
It's so good.
I think I've seen the first one, but I don't think I saw either of the sequels.
Yeah, they go bring a pop star out of his funk, and it's just a great.
Is that the second one?
That's the second
then
one.
I've seen the second one.
You
What's the
haven't seen
first one?
Oh my god.
I don't know. Maybe I've seen the first one. I would say the only thing I know about the first one is Supernova Girl, but if that's in the second one...
No, that's the first one. Supernova Girl is the first one. The Galaxy is Ours is the second one. And that's literally going back to Earth to, like, get him out of his funk.
Then I've seen just the first one.
Yeah.
It was the same guy?
Same guy.
Oh
it's the same guy.
I don't know.
It is like galactic pop sensation.
Okay. I'm lost.
Anyway, we're gonna move on to the last movie on the good list, and that is The Rescuers Down Under. Did it need to be made? No. Did any of these need to be made?
No.
But this movie is incredible. Incredible,
and was the first time that the computer animation production system was used for a full film. It's how they color all of the films. Well, nowadays. It's how they were coloring the films in the
90s. Was 91?
Late. No, yeah, it was early 90s.
This movie came out 91.
91. The last little bit here is movies that we didn't know were a thing.
There are a lot of weird sequels out there, and they're mostly just films that were like live action done between like the late 60s and like the mid 80s.
Yeah.
So it's like a lot of the Kurt Russell movies.
All of the Kurt Russell movies are sequels
to each other.
Anything
they're
that's
like a series.
Medfield related, where he is Dexter Riley, completely related.
There's a whole Parent Trap series. There's like 4 films of the Parent Trap.
2, 3, and 4 were on the Disney Channel.
And Haley Mills was in
mid
them.
to late 80s. She was in all but the second one. She was in 3 and 4.
Yeah.
At like reprising her role, not just like as a cameo.
Yeah.
She was the twins in both of them. Then there's Savage Sam, which is the sequel to Old Yeller, which I knew was a thing. I haven't seen it, but it's weird.
It's a little strange.
The Monkey's Uncle, which is the sequel to The Misadventures of Merlin Jones, which is another movie that you may not have ever heard of.
But you may have heard the Monkey's Uncle song because it was the Beach Boys and Annette Funicello.
Yeah, great song. What's the movie? Also on this list, White Fang 2. I don't know what White Fang is.
Neither do I.
But there's White Fang 2, and I own it.
Yeah, so we're going to continue from that with Splash 2. I don't know if y'all have seen Splash, but it's starring Tom Hanks and Daryl Hannah, and it's a beautiful film. I didn't know there was a sequel until literally today, and better off without it.
Yeah. The last one on the list is Beyond Witch Mountain, which we could talk about Witch Mountain for
centuries.
It seems like centuries because of its remake.
Remake City.
Yeah, it really is. So that is a list of all of the Disney sequels categorized by whether they are a good film, a bad film,
Or an okay film.
or just an okay
It's
film.
there.
If we missed any, let us know, but we think we got them all.
Pretty sure we got them all.
Yeah.
So let us know what your favorites are.
Mhm.
If you have any least favorites as well, like how I hate Little Mermaid 2 with a burning passion.
If there are any sequels that are upcoming that you're excited for, there's Descendants 2 on the Disney Channel coming out next month, Incredibles 2 coming out next year, Toy Story 4. But if there are any upcoming sequels you're excited for, let us know what those are. If there are any movies that you would like to see a sequel of, let us know that too, because I'm always really curious about what movies you think either deserve or should have a sequel.
Or just what story you want to see carried on, you know?
Yeah, that's it for us.
So, thank you so much for hanging out with us and letting us talk about things again. We run long and we kind of apologize, but we also have a lot to say and we're trying very hard to keep it short. No, we
Till
don't.
next time, here at the General Eclectic Pavilion, there's a great big beautiful tomorrow.
Hey!
I'm you.